The Secret Life of Cleopatra. Did you know that Cleopatra, the famous queen of ancient Egypt, was not actually Egyptian? Her family, the Ptolemies, were Greek, and she was the first in her family in 300 years to even bother learning the Egyptian language. This amazing fact opens a door to the truly secret life of a queen who was much more than just a beautiful face. For a long time, stories about Cleopatra made her seem like only a lover of powerful Roman men. But new studies, like those from the British Museum, show us a different, much smarter, and stronger queen. She was a ruler who fought hard for her country and her family. She used her sharp mind, not just her looks, to keep Egypt safe. Imagine a young woman, barely out of her teens, standing up against the biggest empire in the world. Cleopatra VII Cleopatra was born in 69 BC. Her family had ruled Egypt for a long, long time, ever since Alexander the Great conquered it. But the Ptolemy family was always fighting amongst themselves. Brothers and sisters would often kill each other to become king or queen. It was a very dangerous world, full of plots and secrets. Cleopatra learned early that she had to be very clever and brave to survive. She watched her own father, King Ptolemy XII, get kicked out of Egypt, then come back with Roman help, according to detailed records from historians like Cassius Dio. This taught her a huge lesson. Rome was powerful, and you needed them on your side. When her father died, Cleopatra was about 18 years old. She was supposed to rule with her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII. But they didn't get along at all. He and his advisors tried to push her out. They wanted all the power for themselves. This was a common problem in her family, a pattern of power struggles highlighted in studies by the University of Oxford's Egyptology department. Cleopatra was forced to leave Egypt. She didn't give up, though. Instead, she planned her return. She gathered an army on the border, ready to fight for what she believed was hers. This is where her secret life truly begins. She knew she needed strong friends, especially from Rome. One of the most famous stories about her is how she met Julius Caesar. Caesar was a super powerful Roman general who had come to Egypt. Cleopatra knew he was the key to getting her throne back. But how could she get to him when her enemies were everywhere? She came up with a very clever plan. She had herself secretly rolled up inside a rug or a large piece of cloth, like a carpet. Her servant carried it right into Caesar's palace rooms. When the rug was unrolled, out popped Cleopatra. This amazing moment, described vividly by Plutarch, instantly grabbed Caesar's attention. Caesar was amazed by her bravery and her intelligence. She spoke many languages, not just Greek and Egyptian, but also others, making her able to talk to many different people. This was very unusual for a ruler back then. She could talk about math, science, and politics. She was a truly educated woman. They quickly became allies. And soon, much more than that. With Caesar's help, Cleopatra defeated her brother and became the sole ruler of Egypt. She had won her first big fight. But her life was never simple. She had a son with Caesar, named Caesarion, meaning Little Caesar. She even visited Rome with Caesar, causing a big stir. Imagine a powerful queen from Africa walking through the streets of Rome, stunning everyone. However, Caesar was later killed by Roman senators who feared his power. This left Cleopatra in a very tricky spot. Her strong Roman friend was gone, and Rome was once again in chaos. According to ancient texts preserved by the Library of Alexandria, Cleopatra understood the dangerous game of Roman politics better than most. After Caesar's death, 3 powerful Roman men took over: Mark Antony, Octavian, and Lepidus. They were called the Second Triumvirate. Cleopatra knew she had to make another strong ally. Mark Antony was given the task of ruling the eastern parts of the Roman Empire, which included Egypt's neighbors. She knew she had to meet him. Their meeting was even more dramatic than her meeting with Caesar. She sailed to meet Antony on a magnificent golden ship with purple sails, decorated with silver oars. She dressed as the goddess Aphrodite, the goddess of love. The smell of sweet perfumes filled the air. This grand show, as detailed in many historical accounts, was not just for beauty, It was a clear message of her power and wealth. Antony was completely charmed by her. They became lovers and had 3 children together. Cleopatra used her relationship with Antony to protect Egypt. She needed Rome's help to keep her kingdom strong and fed. Egypt was the breadbasket of the ancient world, providing much-needed grain. If Egypt fell, her people would suffer. She was always thinking about her people, even when making big personal choices. Recent archaeological digs, like those reported by the Egyptian Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, show just how much effort was put into securing trade routes during her reign. But her relationship with Antony made another Roman, Octavian, very angry. Octavian was Caesar's adopted son and wanted all the power for himself. He saw Cleopatra as a dangerous foreign queen who was trying to take Roman power away. He started a huge propaganda war against her, telling Romans that she was evil and trying to make Antony weak. He said she wanted to rule the whole Roman world. This was a very clever move by Octavian, turning public opinion against Cleopatra and Antony, a tactic well documented by Roman historians. The fight between Octavian and Antony, with Cleopatra by his side, finally led to a giant war. The most important battle was at sea, called the Battle of Actium, in 31 BC. It was a huge and terrible battle. Antony and Cleopatra's forces were defeated. They had lost everything. Octavian's army followed them back to Egypt. Cleopatra tried to make a deal with Octavian to save her children and her kingdom, but it was no use. Octavian wanted to capture her and show her off as a prize in Rome. Facing capture and humiliation, Cleopatra made her final, most famous choice. She decided she would rather die than be paraded as a prisoner. The story goes that she killed herself by letting an asp, a type of poisonous snake, bite her. The snake was supposedly hidden in a basket of figs. She died a queen, refusing to be shamed. This dramatic end, while debated in its exact details by some modern scholars, is consistent with her character and desire for control, while explored in recent studies published by the Journal of Egyptian History. Her final act was a brave stand against humiliation. Cleopatra's life was a mix of royalty, danger, love, and war. She was not just a beautiful queen, she was a brilliant politician, a skilled diplomat, and a powerful leader. She spoke many languages, studied many subjects, and fought tooth and nail for her country. She defied expectations and tried to keep her ancient kingdom strong in a world dominated by Rome. Her story reminds us that history is often more complex and exciting than we first think. She was a queen who truly lived a secret life of power, intelligence, and unbreakable will, forever remembered as the last pharaoh of Egypt.